Hello and welcome to another episode here from Central Portugal, where we are building our homestead from scratch. If you're new around here, we are Honeymoon Campers and it's taken us 14 months to search for the perfect property. We went all around Europe via Turkey, all the way to Portugal, and we found this beautiful place that we'd like to call home one day. Today we're back on the build. Yesterday, more support we added yesterday. I trimmed and I put the landscape fabric on, and today we are going to...
So we've just gone out and got all the wood for the frame of the little building. We got an OSB to put for the subfloor. So I'm just setting up a little workspace area here because I know I'm going to be working here, and my goal is to be organised from the start because that's going to pay off in the end. Double level shelf.
3 tables. I just wanted to say that we put partial OSB down on the floor, but it is wet. It is pouring it down. Hence we didn't film anything. After a good few days of rain, it's finally stopped. I hope it's not going to be raining anymore. Today's the last day it was meant to be raining, so hopefully everything stays dry. However, we've had some little issues this morning when we woke up. Our amazing gazebo has dropped after this spring rain. We had to brace it in quite a few places. 3 pieces just on this side, and then that leg, the middle, and yeah, so we have to figure out some sort of a better solution for next year for sure. However, going back to the important parts, we were doing our bathroom flooring, or as Martin likes to call it, this sanitary building. So let's get on it. What you're up to?
Well, I'm doing the floor for this deck. There's eventually going to end up a sanitary block, and I need to cut up the pieces to fit the puzzle there. Hopefully today we're going to finish the floor and maybe even start the walls. Ooh. We've got all the materials, and I'm just trying to make sure the floor is perfect before we move on to the next step. So the deck that we have started about a year ago, exactly a year ago, is now complete and ready for the building to come on top. And it was so ridiculous because last year when we started this deck build, the weather was really on and off. It kept raining and we kept working through the rain, and it was exactly the same this year. Hopefully we are good to go and good to start our sanitary block. We've just been talking about what to put on the floor. This is the subfloor, and on top of that we want to put something. We were considering tiles, but we don't know how tiles are going to behave on a floating deck. You know, this doesn't have a foundation, this deck. It does move a little bit, so we don't know how tiles with grout would behave on it, whether, you know, there'd be holes in the grout or whatever. That's something we need to figure out, see what the options are. If you've got any ideas, let us know. But we're going to do the walls and the roof and the building, then the floor, and then the interior walls inside. And what this is going to be is we're going to have an entrance here, and in the middle of the deck there's going to be a corridor. At the end of the corridor there's going to be a washing machine, and there's going to be 2 rooms and basically 2 showers and 2 toilets. And here we're going to have a little basin. And yeah, what I'm going to love about this place is the view. I don't think you can see that, but essentially this is the view here. So I can picture coming here every morning and just taking my time. I'm really hungry. It's only like 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna go grab some lunch and see what we can do next. Right, it's Friday afternoon, which means it's time to get back to it, and I'm gonna see where I left things with the deck. And I think what I'm gonna try and do is see if we can put the walls up. We've got enough material cut up for 3 of the walls. The back wall, because it's 3 meters, it's going to be 2 walls, and also it's going to have windows in it. So I'm going to need to frame those out as well. But I think what's realistic in the next few hours is to put up at least the side walls, maybe the back wall as well. And then that means tomorrow we can frame out everything to do with the walls and hopefully have the frame ready. Before I educated myself with YouTube, I would have probably done this already standing up, but what I've seen people do is assemble the walls on the floor and then raise them up, which makes so much sense, but I'm by no means a DIY guy, so thanks YouTube. I've now done 2 of the side walls and I've got the back wall there. The back wall is divided into 2 parts, and what I need to do now is go and measure the windows that we have that are going to go in there, and I'm going to frame it out, and then that means all the walls are ready to be put up. First of all, I've never put up a building myself apart from a little shed that we did using light steel frame, and The second part is I've never actually put windows in or framed for windows. But anyway, these are our windows that we got for free. Yeah, I need to measure them and make sure I frame out for the windows and then take it from there.
Good morning. I've just cut up some wood. It's another day, so let's see what we're up to today.
I'm pretty happy with myself. This was the first time I was putting a building like this, and it seems to have gone alright. Obviously I had typical problems of warped wood and things like that, but all the measurements were right, which means my project was right, which just gives me confidence for future projects. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go shop, get some OSB for the outside and get the waterproofing membrane as well. We've already got some OSB for the roof, so we just need to stock up on some materials and then come back to it tomorrow.
What's all this new stuff today?
Well, so last night we went out to get some OSB board to start boarding up the outside of the building, and we've done the back wall, and I've just been testing a new technique, which is using a router to cut out the window holes, and it's worked pretty well, but as you can tell it's a very messy one. But I'm pretty happy. It's nice and smooth around the edges, and it saved me cutting multiple different pieces of different lengths. So I'll essentially just put a full OSB board at the back and then just cut around the frame, window frame.
I've been collecting sawdust, where is it? Here. So that once we actually have the functional compost toilet will already have some sawdust. And I can't believe how much I've collected already. Morning. Another day in paradise. Today's just a bit cold. But we're getting on. Doing the top walls now. All of the sanitary building is now closed off. We have the roof, we have the walls, apart from the 3 holes, 2 at the back, which are for windows, and the front one, which will be a sliding door. I'm not sure if we're going to do the door anytime soon. For now, we're probably going to just leave it the way it is. And before I show you what we've done inside, it's still empty, but I'll still show you. I'm just going to get all the sawdust collected because it's just everywhere. This little deck area that I'm just standing on now, it's about 1 meter wide. This will eventually be the entrance. We'll have stairs on one side and the other side, and on this side we're going to have another wall and another side wall with a little sink area. And then this will be the doorway, of course. We're going to have eventually another 2 little separating walls, and we're going to have a shower and a toilet and another shower and the toilet. And in here, this is going to be the 1 bathroom, and that's going to be the other bathroom. Each bathroom is going to have its own huge window. This is just an OSB board that I need to move. The windows are 180 centimeters, which is probably about 5'6", more or less. They almost go to the top and they go right to the bottom. And yeah, this is all closed off now just because it's going to be raining in the next couple of days, so we wanted to close it all off, bring everything inside, all the scraps, all the OSB boards, all the tools, just so it's not out in the rain, not out in the elements. So that's my job today, to clean everything up, and then also to screw any OSB boards into these that we've just rushed and not been able to do properly, and they only hanging off a few screws before Martin had to go to work. Yep, so let's get on with it. thank you for tuning into this week's episode. The rain has been non-stop, so we decided to cut the build short, and next week I've got my mum and my stepdad coming to help us, so tune in next week to see how much we get done.